Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today, well, I'm just doing like a short little update on World of Warcraft real quick because patch 10.2.7 just came out yesterday, and yeah, it brought in some new features and stuff. Not really new features, but it brought in some changes, and yeah, let's get into it. So the first set of changes coming to patch 10.2.7 would be the new dungeon pool. Well, as you know, in previous seasons, we would have like four Dragonflight dungeons and four dungeons from other expansions. But now we're just getting all 8 dungeons from Dragonflight, which, yeah, it kind of sucks because, at least in my opinion, because I'll be honest, I don't really like the Dragonflight dungeons a whole lot. I find them kind of, I don't know, not exciting, I guess. They're kind of forgettable. Like once this expansion is over, I don't know if I'll be looking forward to future expansions bringing back Dragonflight dungeons, but yeah, they're there, and that means, well, what that means now. We got to deal with Ruby Life pools. We got to deal with freaking Brackenide Hollow, Halls of Infusion. The reason I list these out is because I hate these dungeons. There's some bosses in there that just, damn, they piss me off, especially Halls of Infusion. That third boss, I think it's the third boss, the one with like all the ice. Man, I just hate having like teammates that just don't know how to do it, or I don't know, they're just too stupid. They don't know that they have to go run behind the fucking ice blocks to like stay safe, or run out of the circle in the middle whenever she casts that one ability or whatever. But yeah. So the Mythic Plus achievements for Season 4 are Dragonflight Keystone Explorer, which is just complete a Mythic Plus dungeon within the time limit during Dragonflight Season 4. You have the Dragonflight Keystone Conqueror, which is attain a Mythic Plus rating of at least 1500. And you get the Draconic title. And finally, there's a Dragonflight Keystone Master Season 4, which you have to attain a Mythic Plus rating of at least 2000 during Dragonflight Season 4. And you get the Infinite Armored Mount, which is basically just like the same exact mount as previous seasons, except it's like a different theme. Like Season 1, we had the same mount. We had the mount where it's like all in ice, and then we had Season 2, was covered in fire. Season 3, last season, was like this really ugly green, and then now it's like apparently like a dawn, not a dawn. What am I saying? It's like an infinite dragonflight kind of colorway or whatever. So if you're into that, yeah, sadly, I wish it was more. Wish it was like a dragonfly. I wish it was like a flying mount, whatever. That would be 100 times nicer. But it is what it is. We can't always have nice things. This season also shows an introduction to a dungeon level squish, which the way the system works is, so the Mythic Plus system will only reward you up to level 10, and they've also squished the difficulties. So for example, like a +2 in the new system will be similar to like a +10 or +11 or whatever in the current Mythic Plus system. And the affixes will only come in at a +2, +5, and a +10, and dungeon ratings will be equivalent to the current system. So yeah, which, I mean, I guess that's good. We don't have to like go super high up, because I feel like having 20 plus levels, it kind of just stretches out too far. You kind of squish them, and now it's like each Mythic Plus level is, I guess, more meaningful, I suppose. The Keystone level 2 affixes are going to be tyrannical and fortified. Keystone 5 and up, from 5 to 10, will be entangling, afflicted, incorporeal, volcanic, and storming. I fucking hate storming. Storming is just, I mean, it's not that it's hard to deal with, it's just very unnecessary. It's just, I don't know, it's just there to piss you off, I suppose. Like, it does absolutely nothing to like change up the gameplay or spice it up or whatever, but it is what it is. Then Keystone level 10, you have Spiteful, Raging, Bursting, Bolstering, and Sanguine. I love me some Sanguine. There's nothing more fun than standing in period blood of your enemies. But yeah. So let's quickly talk about the raids in Season 4. We're just gonna get the same raids that we've had the entire expansion, just faded, just like in Shadowlands. So basically, we're gonna have Vault of the Incarnates, Aberrus, the Shadow Throne, and a Midrasil, the Dream Soul. That's an odd name. Anyway, but they're gonna rotate weekly now instead of bi-weekly like in Shadowlands. So for example, week 1 we're gonna have Vault of the Incarnates, week 2 Aberrus, week 3 Midrasil. And then week 4 is going to rotate back to Vault of the Incarnates. The item level drops for the Awakened raids are going to be for Raid Finder, you're going to have 480 and 489 for like the last couple of bosses. Normal 493, 502, Heroic 506, 515, and then Mythic 519, 528. There's going to be new currencies. If y'all remember from Shadowlands, we had the dinars, which was like a bad luck protection that you get from bosses, and you like give it to a vendor, and like you could buy whatever gear you want. But now we have something called antique bronze bullion, and with that there's also the awakened Tempstone, which is a new tier omni token that drops from the end raid bosses of the awakened Dragonflight raids. And you're gonna have new vendors where you can spend the bullions on. They're gonna be located in the Parting Glass on the east side of Veldraken. Um, and you can buy pretty much just about anything with those currencies that you get from these vendors. Well, just about any gear like bad luck. So like if you do a raid or a boss and you don't get what you want, then you can just go to them and you could buy it straight up with the new currencies that you get. All right, real quick, I'm just gonna make like I'm gonna show y'all like a tier list of what I think is the best, what I think are the best tanks for season 4. I'm only gonna do them for tanks since that's mainly what I play. I haven't really DPS'd in a long time in Mythic Plus, honestly. I'm gonna go back to playing Red Paladin in your next expansion because I hear that the hero talents are amazing, honestly. As you can see, I put Vengeance Demon Hunter in S tier. In B tier, I have Protection Paladin. C tier, Blood DK and Prot Warrior. D tier, Monk. And at the very bottom, I have Druid mainly because, I haven't really played a Druid in Shadowlands, so I don't know how they really are this expansion. Um, but yeah, let me just get into it real quick and explain why I put them there and why they are the way that they are. So Vengeance Demon Hunters in S tier because they just do so much freaking damage, so much AoE damage. I mean, there's a talent that allows you to grab two stacks of sigils, not two stacks, but like two. You can use a sigil twice, which is insane. You can use the sigil of flame just to do a massive, massive AoE damage twice, and just generate a bunch of souls and use that into spirit bomb and blah blah blah. Plus the tier set bonus. Oh, actually, the way the tier set bonuses work is we don't have any new tier set bonuses. Some classes will just get tier set bonuses from you'll be able to use tier set bonuses from like previous seasons. So I think the way Blizzard does it is they're just sitting there thinking like, okay, which tier set bonus was the best out of all 3 tier set bonus that we've had throughout the 3 seasons. They're like, okay, so for example, for Demon Hunters, they'll be using the tier set bonus from season 3, which is which you get like at 2 set, you get Fiery Resolve. When you attack a target afflicted by Sigil of Flame, your damage and healing are increased by 2%. Your stamina is increased by 2% for 8 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. Which is crazy because you can get like a total of 10% stamina and healing increase, which is pretty damn big. And the 4th set is Demon Hunt. The 4 piece is Sigil of Flames. Periodic damage has a chance to flare up, shattering an additional soul fragment from a target and healing 60.72% of additional damage. Each 40 fury you spend reduces cooldown by 1 sec, which is pretty fucking good. Yeah. And this is, like I said, this is the one from season 3. But for example, for paladins, you will have each paladins get the tier set from season 2. So for them, for paladins, they have the 2 set bonus. Adventure Shield grants you and your closest ally Ally of the Light, increasing versatility by 8% for 8 seconds. And the 4 piece is when you cast Hammer of Righteous or Blessed Hammer, it increases your parry chance by 7% for 10 seconds. It extends the duration of Ally of the Light by 1 second. And this is the Season 2 bonus. It's a Season 2 tier set, sorry. So each class will basically have a tier set that was really good for them in whichever season. So for Paladins, basically since the Season 2 tier set was very good of all 3 tier sets, that's the one that they'll be getting, Yeah. So I have Paladins in B tier simply because, well, I'm a Paladin fanboy and I'm biased, and they go in B tier. Vengeance Demon Hunter, as I said before, they're up in S tier because, well, they have low cooldowns, they do a fuckload of AoE damage, and they're just hard to kill. And it's not a really difficult class to play. It's pretty fucking brain dead if you ask me. Anyway, now going to Blood Decays. The reason they're down there is because the little icon with the skull is red, and I don't really like the color red. Just kidding, just kidding. I love red. But the real reason is because it kind of struggles to stay alive when you need to pick up groups of mobs and like get them together and whatnot. And there's like a huge, I mean, its biggest heal that it has is on the GCD. Like Death Strike is on the GCD, which is like your like most important ability. Honestly, like shit, if I were Blizzard, what I would do is just take that shit off the GCD, take Death Strike off the GCD. Yeah. But you gotta pull all these packs together. You gotta like generate your runic power, and then you can get fucking bursted down rather quickly. But yeah, next up is Prot Warrior. They're, I would say, equal to Blood Death Knights because B tier is kind of like the middle of the pack. They're all right. They get the job done. The reason they're there is because their tier sets really haven't changed a whole lot, and I don't particularly find their tier set that great. And I don't know, I guess if you're a real loser in real life, you probably play Warrior or something. I don't even know. Next up is let's see what we got here. Uh, oh yeah, Brewmaster Monk. They're there simply because their tier set's pretty good, but they're there because well, they're just too fucking clunky to play. They just have way too many fucking buttons you gotta press. They gotta shave that shit off. You know what I mean? Just kind of like, I don't know how they're gonna do it because some of these buttons, it's not like they're fluff buttons, or just not buttons. What am I saying? Abilities. You kind of do need them. They are important, but they're just way too fucking many. And you gotta Blizzard. I guess Blizzard just kind of needs to prune it, but I guess Blizzard's probably afraid of the word prune because of what happened back in the day. When they prune a bunch of abilities and people cried about it, but then when they started adding abilities back, people started crying that there's too many abilities now. Wow, what can I do? Anyway, how the WoW community is. They're just never satisfied no matter what. Anyway, that's besides the point. Yeah, and well, I have Guardian Druids at the bottom because I don't really play Guardian Druid that much. Truth be told, the only reason I even got into Guardian Druid was to do the thingamajig, the balance of power quest line, so I can be like a cool looking glowing bear, and yeah, that's about it. But Guardian Druid, what can I say? I guess y'all probably like eating grass, so can't tell y'all to go touch grass or whatever because y'all like eating grass. They'll probably smell like potatoes, and y'all are probably a bunch of hippies or something. IRL, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, that's the tier list right there. It's not the best tier list, but it's the best in my mind. Therefore, it is the best. And yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's just about everything coming to Dragonflight in patch 10.2.7, at least from like a PvE perspective. I don't really talk too much about. I'm not gonna talk too much about PvP because, well, I'm not gonna mention it at all because I don't really play PvP and I don't really pay attention to it. So I guess if you want news about that, then I guess you're probably just gonna have to go to another YouTuber or something, or on Mowhead or whatever. But yeah, hope y'all enjoyed this video. Hope y'all were well informed. Stay frosty out there, and let me know if y'all are enjoying patch 10.2.7. Have a good one.